My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm viewing Gucci Envy for men. It's obviously discontinued and I don't know the price, but I'm assuming it's about between 60 and 80 pounds. The notes are ginger, cardamom, lavender, pepper, mahogany, coriander, mandarin orange. And the middle notes are sandalwood, cedar, carnation, jasmine and rose. And the base notes are incense, vanilla, tobacco, amber, vetiver, leather, patchouli and musk. Very intense. Do we have our bottles of Gucci Envy for him? Are we engaged with our higher self? Let's get testing. So there was no official notes or anything. So unfortunately I had to go on to those frag sites. And I want to say something. And I've been talking about it with Video Unicorn. I'm going to sort of put my 2 cents. Perfumery is an art form, and it's a beautiful art form, and it is essential oils, absolutes, aroma chemicals, alcohol in a bottle with a label and a name. It's not the cure to cancer. It's not going to feed world hunger. It's not going to do anything sort of like anything particularly amazing. It is a beautiful art form. And the amount of hatred on all these sites we all know exists on there, you need to get a grip on yourself. It is just an art form. And for an art form, I would have thought there'd be more love behind it. I love perfumery and I've always loved it. And I feel very privileged to be a part of this, but I don't understand the hatred. It's so weird to me that something which people should love and embrace is so full of hatred, venom. So really, if you're one of these people that goes out there and does all this trolling, go and see a therapist, get on some antipsychotic medicine, sort yourself out, go and do some exercise. But really, it is an art form which should be filled with love and support. Anyway, that's what I think about that whole thing. I'm going to get it in the neck for that. But, it's the thing I'm most surprised about this, that there is this, all these things filled with hatred. And it's just so disgusting and it's embarrassing. We should be supporting each other and lifting each other up rather than trying to smash each other down. Anyway, on to Gucci Envy. So this cost me a lot of money because I had to buy it, and the atomizers come off, but it's like, what is it? I think this was 1990s with Gucci Rush. And so this was, what was it? Where are we now? 90, so 20 years old, 30 years old, something like that. This, I think, was when Tom Ford was at Gucci. And I think this is the height of all that. This is sort of when, clubbing was around and all of that. So I think it was more edgy sort of perfumery, to be honest with you. This is a classic Oriental fragrance. And so this has notes that you would find in sort of Middle Eastern sort of perfume. I think this is glorious. I'm going to tell you right now, I love it. I love Orientals. Orientals are my most favorite. This is obviously Isusuba, Hedione, vanillin, ethyl vanillin, coumarin, ionones. That's sort of the way that you assimilate an Oriental. Some beautiful sort of like musks in there, tetralate, ethylene brassylate to help give that sort of smoothness to it. Ethylene brassylate is a really fantastic musk. It can smell very natural. It goes in everything. As a fixative, it helps to sort of as a blender. You can't dose it too high either. Some of these raw materials are really tricky to work with. You go maybe a few percent too high on it and you flatten it out and you have nothing. You have to start all over again. But ethylene brassylate, you can dose quite high and it doesn't really have that flattening effect and it helps give support. It's nice in a musk accord, actually. Inexpensive and it can smell quite luxurious. Goes with everything, goes with florals, it's really good with sort of vanilla sort of smells as well. Can smell a bit ice creamy, so it goes with ethyl vanillin, kind of all that stuff. I love patchouli, bergamot. That's kind of, I love it, and it goes so well together with this sort of thing. The notes are as they are saying, that's sort of, in the bottle. Also, those sort of vanillin and coumarin things, you absolutely add ionones and benzoate. That sort of gives you that sort of feel, of a classic Oriental. On to my final thoughts. I love this. I think it's just awesome, beautiful perfumery. I wish Gucci would have kept this going. I wonder why it got discontinued. Please leave your notes below as to why you think this got discontinued. No idea why. Don't think it's got Lirolin, which is, legal and all the rest of it now. I'd be really curious as to know why you think it went. This got coriander in, and coriander is a really tricky thing. These sort of sharp, herbaceous notes when you're working with sort of like these softer raw materials and essential oils, can throw out a formulation. This has been handled really, really well, very skillful. It's quite like a sexy smell, sort of quite addictive, really. I ain't got a box, so I don't know if it's legal, safe, compliant. But what I do know is that Gucci would be super professional and would be absolutely legal and safe. That's just how these houses are when they're professional. This is about 60 quid. I kind of think it's definitely sort of worth the money. Longevity, not too fantastic, but then maybe because it's, 20 years old. But I do love it. I love sort of the ice creamy, sort of slightly photonic nature to it. I love it. I would absolutely wear this. This is like dead on my style of perfumery. If I was going to redesign this, I would smoke it out a little bit more, to be honest. I'd make it sensual and dark. I'd put Kalak wood in it. That's kind of what I do. I put some ambers in to help to sort of give it an expansive nature. I'd make it more projecting and more long lasting, but I would still keep the scent profile. That's kind of how I do it. I make it like an extract or just, really naughty and sensual. That's kind of what I'll do with it. I love it. I think it's awesome. If it's about 60, 80 quid and the longevity was better and the projection was better, I'll give it a 10. But because it's not particularly radiating off my skin, I kind of gonna give it a 9 out of 10. But I think it's awesome. I love this. I think it's amazing. The sort of person I think this is a signature man's fragrance. So I think kind of this is just all men, signature fragrance, easy to wear, date fragrance, work fragrance is not too offensive. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Actually, I love sort of the vanilla-y aspect to it, but I would sort of smoke it out and make it naughty. So there you go. Hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well. See you soon.